So we're going to do a couple now. So if you'll flip to that second page in the packet.
I need to go.
Lonergan,
Yes.
Dwayne is coming. His internet is sucking.
Okay, I will actually. I'm gonna set this. I'm gonna turn off this waiting room so people can just come in because I can't be bothered. All right. So since our son is pleasantly helping, was the first one, and Leon I know is a huge resource to you on these. If we're just gonna go over two, but if you want more help, I'm sure because he patiently sat here for like 30 minutes one day and did all of this because Leon cares about his education. Yeah, you heard me. All right, so since is a since, because, or after. So that is what we're going to be using. What kind of participle?
Inactive.
Oh, entirely wrong.
The last one. Wait, is it the last one?
It's going to be a perfect passive participle because remember, since, because, after equals a perfect passive participle. What uses a present active participle? Present active participle.
It's
Something.
the when
While or after?
and
When,
wow.
or as going on at the same time. And when do we use with? We can use them for all of them, but for the purposes of our exercises, when do we use with?
The first one with all the, there's no verb.
I heard you say it's when you have a noun with another noun.
Okay.
All right, so when we have since our son is pleasantly helping, we're going to have a noun plus a what kind of participle?
Present active.
Perfect passive participle. Who keeps saying that?
Miss Lonergan, the word is in the present tense, and it looks like a perfect or present.
That can happen to you. This is what you're paying attention to.
That's just rude.
Well, I apologize for it, the audacity of that translation. You have to pay attention to this for your clue. All right, so the first word we'll do is the noun. What's the noun?
Filius.
Son. Okay, so we need to put it in what case?
Ablative.
Ablative, right? So it's going to be Philly. Someone said it. Say it louder.
Oh.
Yes, Philly. Why does it keep doing that to me? There we go. Filio. All right. And what's the word to help?
Auxiliary?
Adjuvo.
Yep, adiuare. I see some people talking, but your mic isn't on. All right, adiuo, adiuare. So we need the fourth principal part, which is adiuatus, and then I need to put it into the ablative, right? So what is that going to be?
Yeah.
And how do you say sweetly or pleasantly?
I had lepida.
You had what?
Lepida.
I can't really hear you. Can you spell it?
Auxiliary?
Lepida.
No.
I said grate.
Let's give my best shot.
Can you spell what you're saying?
Grate.
Okay, that's fine.
Suaviter.
Or you could say suaviter. All right, good. Let's do one more. I'm going to pick which one because I want to pick a different kind. Oh, good. The next one is a different kind. So when Romulus had been king. So that when is how we pick. So when is this kind?
Terrible.
What kind of participle are we going to use?
Present active participle.
Good. All right, so this one is the noun with a present active participle. All right, so what's our noun?
Romulus.
Romulus.
Romulus. Good. So I just got to put it into a into that what case? Ablative. Good. So what's the ending there?
Romulo.
Good. Romulo, and then King. So
Regentis.
we're looking for a verb, right? So we're looking for to reign. What's the verb to reign?
Regentis.
Yeah, it's gonna be regno, regnare, right? No.
That's correct.
Uh-huh.
Is it an areatus?
I believe so.
Okay. So then we're gonna be. I'm checking my work on that. Yeah, regno, regnare, regnavi, regnatus. You've got regnat, and then what's my ablative ending?
Oh.
Okay. All right. And then we don't have an adverb here, so we don't have to bother with anything else. All right. I want to look at all your faces. How do you? Please turn your video on. I don't want to ask this every time. It's very lame for me. Thank you. I want to look at your faces so I can see whether you are paying attention or if you look confused. Landon, Travis.
I don't have a webcam.
I don't have
on
a
my
camera.
computer.
That's unfortunate.
That is unfortunate because you don't
Oh,
have an
the
iPhone
basic
or
ones.
anything that you could be doing this on?
I mean, I have my phone. Do you want me to switch to that?
Yes, I kind of do. And you can do your work on your computer, but I can see your face. All right, so do you understand how to do these? Because there's going to be like in the translations, which we're also going to do today, like the test translations, there's going to be a lot of these, as I'm sure you can imagine,
What is the test?
on Monday. Okay, all right, moving on then. We're going to do more of them later, so you can be, you can tell me about your confusion then if it arises. Workbook page. So I do want you to drop this in the Dropbox. Do I want you to drop it in the Dropbox if we're about to go over it?
Yes. No. I had a 50-50 shot, Miss Lonigan.
Seems like a real get out of jail free card for people that didn't do it.
Is it okay if I emailed it to you?
No, I dragged it to the trash, Andrew, which I told everyone I was doing. All right. So how about this? This is super easy. Just hold it up. I wasn't going to read it very carefully anyway. I'm going to do speaker view. And say your name and hold it up. When you say your name, it'll, make you go first. It'll pull your picture up high. All right, Dwayne, I saw Dwayne's. Christopher, it didn't pull you up. It's got Charlie.
Oh. Well, I can talk louder and then just keep talking and then hold it up here.
Perfect. I see Christopher. Who else?
We got Miss Lonigan.
I see Will. Thank you.
Let's go.
What are we showing, Mr. Clark?
Your homework.
I emailed it to you. It was online.
I put it in the chat.
Which one?
But don't email me any homework.
Mine's right here, Miss Lonigan.
Wonderful, Charlie. Thank you. That's 4.
Mine's right here.
Onto my phone. Real quick.
Miss Lonergan, mine's right here.
Delightful. Thank you.
Want me to print it out and show it to you?
Nope. I saw it. Who else?
Give me a put on the
Billy got it. Art got it. Aaron and Ryan? Nothing?
I never did it. I don't know when you signed it.
Aaron got you. Ryan, you didn't know we signed it. Leon
I put mine in the Dropbox last night.
got you. Oh, I saw yours in the Dropbox. Thank you.
All right. Yeah.
And so I'm just Anthony. No,
I thought it was due Thursday.
that's incredible, Anthony.
Wait, so do we still put the translation in the Dropbox?
Yes. This is the only thing you're not going to put in there. All right, so. Brennan, how am I going to see yours?
Let me put in the Dropbox real quick.
Okay. Philip, what's Philip's not here, right? Is that true? Art, did I see yours?
You did.
I did. Okay. And I saw Aaron's. Ryan, you're just gonna put yours in the Dropbox later today?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Anthony, you're gonna put yours in the Dropbox later today? Anthony?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, cool. All right. And Travis, you're gonna put yours in the Dropbox, or you already did, didn't you?
I'm taking a picture of mine right now and I'm about to submit it to the Dropbox.
All right. So I'll get all those Dropbox ones later and put those in. All right. Perfect. Perfect. All right. So, perfect. All right. Let me grab my workbook. And let's get the grid back together again. All right, so I think it'll be a huge pain to like go over these one at a time. So just because of the way the audio works and how, it kind of goes in and out and it's very, very annoying. So instead, I think the best practice to go over these is going to be actually, this is genius. We're going to type them in the chat. So start typing your answer into the chat right here. I'll tell you which one to do, and don't hit enter until I call on you. Okay? Does that make sense?
I know.
Okay. So Malik, you're going to do 1 from literary evidence. Will, you're going to do 2 from literary evidence.
Yes, ma'am.
Art, you're going to do 3 from literary evidence. And again, don't hit enter until I call on you again so that they come in order. Aaron, you're going to do 1 from archaeological evidence. Anthony and Ryan, I guess we're going to, actually, you'll have time. You need to find 2 from archaeological evidence, Ryan, and then Anthony, you need to find 3 from archaeological evidence. Brennan, number 4 from archaeological evidence. Chris, number 5 from archaeological evidence. Dwayne, 6. Charlie, 7. Leon, 8. Brian, 9. Andrew, 10. Travis, number 1 from inscriptional evidence. And number 2, Landon, from inscriptional evidence. And I'll give everyone a second to type, and then I will tell you when to start hitting enter. All right. When you hit participants at the bottom of the screen, you should get some reactions, like a yes, no, go slower, go faster button. So if you see an answer that is wrong, hit the no button so that we can discuss it. All right. So Malik, go ahead. When did Julius Caesar come to Britain? Where did he land and how many times? So in 55 BC, he landed on the coast and he visited twice. Looks good to me. All right, number 2. About whom was Tacitus writing? What was this person's connection with Britain and how were Tacitus and this person related? Agricola was the governor of the province, and he was his father-in-law. Explain the basis for bias in the writings of Julius Caesar.
Miss Lonergan, ignore that one. I hit the button wrong. I
Okay.
was trying to tab down.
Art. Literary evidence. Caesar writes with bias to convince the Senate, and Tacitus writes with bias to honor his father-in-law. Very good. All right. Archaeological evidence. What is the task of the archaeologist? To uncover and explain the remains of the past. Very good. Give 2 of the ways sites are located. Who's this? Archaeological evidence number 2. Oh. Once the site was located, archaeological and carry out careful scientific discovery and excavation.
Is it archaeological evidence number 2?
Archaeological evidence number 2. All right, there we go. Some are already known and some are found by accident. Very good. Number 3, how was Fishburne discovered? That's you, Anthony? Good. In 1962, a workman digging a drain came across fragments of a mosaic floor, and his chance of discovery found Fishburne. So he found a mosaic floor just like that one we saw in the VMFA with the 4 seasons. Remember that? What 2 things do archaeologists watch for on a site, and what does this accomplish? Was this you, Charlie?
Sorry, I didn't mean to send it. My
You guys
bad.
are doing a
Terrible job, I know. My bad.
Was this you, Brennan?
Yeah, I sent it to you early. I thought
Okay, so scroll back up to Brennan's. Once the site was located, archaeologists have to plan and carry out careful scientific survey and excavation. Good. What else do archaeologists look for and why? Small evidence to discover things about the people who used to live there. Good. What 2 finds help in dating an excavation site? Roman coins and pottery. Very good. What information can pottery also reveal? Pottery can also reveal trade and travel patterns. Good to see where the different types of pottery come from, the different ways that you can make pottery. Trace the 3-part development archaeologists have discovered on many sites in Britain. Colonnades, multi-room mansions with baths, mosaic pavements, simple timber-framed farmhouse. Good. What do excavations reveal about Roman activity in Southeast Britain, about Roman activity in Northwest Britain? Durable material that does not go bad, lots of broken pieces and sites, and pottery reveals travel patterns. I'm not sure that this is exactly the right answer. Does someone have anything to add to this? Number 9 under archaeological.
What was the question?
The question is, what do excavations reveal about Roman activity in Southeast Britain and about Roman activity in Northwest Britain?
I got that Southeast Britain is a bunch of civilian stuff, Northwest Britain is a bunch of military stuff.
That's correct. What is revealed by the excavation of roads, the excavation of Romano-British towns, and the excavation of military sites? Good. Numerous and effective communications for roads, the towns, the advance of urban life, and for military sites, how important the army was in maintaining peace and protection. All right, inscriptional evidence. What is the source for much of the inscriptional evidence about Roman Britain? Tombstones. Very good, Travis. And study the standard pattern for inscriptions given on page 161, and then examine, and I'm sure the page number was different. Did you guys have this? Is there an inscription in your new book?
There was in 5th edition.
There was not?
There was.
There was? What page was it on?
140.
That sounds right.
140, 141.
All right, and let me pull that up really quick.
In 4th edition, it was 162 and 163.
Yeah. 5th edition, it's 141.
Okay. stop share for a second. So what did you say for this? Who had the question?
There were two of them.
Nobody was assigned this question?
I mean, there were
I've-
two things.
What?
One of them was already translated, and then there was
Somebody was
one
assigned the
underneath it.
question. So who was it? I'm just asking who was the person whose name I called and said number 2 under inscriptional evidence. That is the question I'm asking right now.
Not me.
It was somebody who doesn't have a video. I remember.
Was it? I think it was Landon.
Cool. All right. So I want to look at the example they gave because it's hard, right? If I remember correctly.
Kind of. It's just weird that it only gives you a first initial of the first name.
Yeah, here we go. All right, so this one down here. Yeah, so see how many letters are missing up here? So can we figure this one out together?
Yes.
What does G stand for a first name? Do you remember?
Guys.
Okay.
Yeah, it can often be Gaius. And
I need to turn in.
I put Lavesius.
okay, that's good.
Alright, I did that.
And then can you figure out what his rank is?
Valeria.
Valeria Victorious.
Oh, I probably need to.
It's the same as what's on number 8 on the other side.
Oops, where'd I go? It's very hard to tell, but you can tell what legion he's in, right?
He's in 20th.
20th.
Yep. Can you tell how old he was when he died?
What's it? 25.
25.
Yep. And the length of his service?
Was it?
8 years.
Uh-huh. Good job. All right. Okay, so here, can you see this?
I still see that.
Is what it you can or you can't?
Still looking at
Yes.
the book.
You're still looking at the book, or are you looking at my inscription?
Book.
Ah.
There you go. Nice.
There we go.
So this is what all those words are short for. So you've got Gaius, Luesius, Papiria, he was a tribune, Cadarus Emerita, Miles, there's your soldier, Legionis XX, Valeria Wikitrice Honorum, 25 years old, Stipendiorum, 8, so yeah, of 8 years, Frontinus Aquilo, Ares Facendum Curavit. So this is who he makes his heir. This guy. Yeah. All right. Boom. Good job.
Oh boy.
All right. Roman emperors. I'm going to drop this now that Clarapod works into your course documents. And let's talk about it a little bit. So a lot of these guys you know very well already. So starting with your favorite best friend, Augustus. He was the first emperor of Rome. His name was Octavian before he became emperor. He changed it to Augustus in 27 BC. He came out on top after years of civil war that followed the death of whom?
Julius Caesar.
Yep.
Caesar, yeah. The
And-
original Caesar.
Who was Julius to him?
That was the uncle.
Father-in-law.
His adopted father, his uncle, his father-in-law. Augustus was not a very lovable person, but he was clever and a good lawmaker, and he set up a mail service and built roads. The empire got bigger. Augustus had a month named after him, August, and before him, the Romans called this month Sextilis, because it was the 6th month. Very creative. And when Augustus died in 14 AD, his stepson Tiberius became emperor, and there was no going back to a republic. It was going to be an empire from now on. So, on
Miss
your
Lonergan,
yes.
how did the Romans feel about the like divorce and remarriage? Were they okay with that? That was kind of random, but like sons getting thrones and stuff.
Yeah, there were two types of marriage. There was they were called sine manu marriages and con manu marriages, so like with a hand and without a hand marriages. So, which is kind of weird. They were like, either you gave up your father's house and family and you basically like never saw them again, you weren't a part of that family anymore, and you were only a member of your husband's family, and that was like less common. And then there was sine manu marriages, where you were still sort of a member of your father's family. And if you had that kind of marriage, you could divorce and go back to your father's house and start over again.
Is that
Would
the
explain the stepchildren thing.
Yes. You had to leave your kids. I mean, if you were a woman, you couldn't take your kids with you. Those belonged to the man. But
Cool.
Let's style it now.
all right, so these emperors, there's only 5 or 6 of them that are highlighted like this with little stories, and there's going to be a little matching section on your test. I'm going to give you that exact matching section as a quiz to complete by Friday at 4 p.m. So you will have seen it before the test, and you will have completed it as a quiz as your kind of like assignment for having been in class today. So you just got to match these little guys with their descriptions.
Is it gonna be on the test too then? In that exact same way, or? All right, cool.
All right, so then you have Tiberius, his stepson Tiberius became emperor, and then you have Caligula, and these guys like won't be in the matching section. But can you tell me about Caligula? Because you know something about him.
He's a bad dude.
Bad dude. Have you seen him before?
We saw his statue in the museum.
Yes, you saw his statue in the museum. Very good. All right, Claudius. Claudius was Tiberius's nephew. When the emperor's bodyguard, the Praetorian Guard, murdered, so his own guards murdered Caligula. That's how bad he was. So when the Praetorian Guard murdered the mad emperor Caligula, the guards made Claudius emperor. They thought he was a fool, but he turned out to be an emperor who ruled well. It was Claudius who ordered the invasion of Britain. Then you got Nero. Have you ever heard the expression Nero fiddled while, I'm making the wrong thing for a fiddle. Nero fiddled while Rome burned?
Mm-mm.
So it's a common expression that people will say about politicians if they're not doing enough while things are like going really badly. And I've seen a few headlines about that, various like leaders of the world right now in this pandemic. And I bet now that you've heard it, you might see it if you're reading or watching the news, which perhaps you should not do because it's a stressful thing to do. But all right, so Nero was the adopted son of Claudius. Some historians think his mother Agrippina poisoned Claudius, who was her second husband, so that Nero could become emperor. Nero never wanted to be emperor. He wanted to be an actor and a poet. He appeared on stage, which many people thought was very undignified for an emperor. He also blamed himself for a fire that burned down much of Rome in 64 AD, and in the end he killed himself. So this idea that he fiddled while Rome burned is false. It's not like he really sat on a rooftop and like fiddled while Rome burned, but that's kind of how he went down in history.
As far as we know.
As far as we know. But that's how he went back down in history. Poor guy. He never wanted the job. All right, then you've got all these guys: Galba, Otho, Vitellius, Sabinus, Vespasian. You know about Vespasian and Titus, right? What most famous thing was made to remember Titus?
The Parthenon? Or not the Roman Colosseum? No?
The Arch of Titus?
Oh.
That's the thing outside.
Know what that is. Know what that is.
All right, then you got Nerva, and then we have Trajan, which a lot of our letters have been from Pliny to Trajan, Trajan to Pliny. So this is what we are sort of in the middle of in our stories now. So Trajan came from Spain and was the first non-Roman to be emperor. He was a great general and increased the territory of the Roman Empire. He commemorated these victories on Trajan's column. Have you seen, Trajan's column before? This is not what I wanted. So this is the Arch of Titus. And the Arc de Triomphe is, based after it. Lots of arches in the world are. And this is Trajan's column. And it's got all of his big battles carved into it. It's super ornate, but it's also super tall, and so you can't see most of those carvings, which is a tragedy. But there used to be a library that was built up next to it, like all the way up, so you could see a lot of it. But now it stands alone in the forum like this. All right.
What happened to the library?
I believe it burned down. All right, Hadrian was Trajan's adopted son. He spent most of his reign touring the Roman Empire and realized that the empire was too big to rule or defend properly. He therefore abandoned Trajan's conquests in Parthia, which is modern Iran and Iraq, and made new borders to the empire. His most lasting legacy is Hadrian's Wall in Britain. I have a huge problem here because I can't see the top of this. All right. And the Hadrian's Wall always reminds me of a very tiny Great Wall of China. I don't know why. It shouldn't. They're nothing alike, but just because it's a wall. But this is what it looks like. Ooh, pretty.
It does look like it.
Just very tiny version of it.
Why was it so small? Was it supposed to be anything?
It was bigger.
Wait.
But it marked the new borders of the empire.
I can see that.
All right, then you have Antoninus Pius, Marcus Aurelius, and Lucius Verus, and Marcus Aurelius. Marcus Aurelius was a clever emperor interested in ideas. He wrote a book of philosophy. He thought all people are basically the same in a world that is basically good. Aww. Unfortunately, as an emperor, his main problems were to defend the borders against attacks and deal with his son Commodus. That was that thing we were watching.
Oh, yeah.
Who was not a good person at all.
All the nudity.
And that was very well depicted. Commodus's idea of a good time was to dress up as a gladiator and kill people for fun. Then you have Commodus, Pertinax, Didius Julianus, and Septimus Severus. Severus was born in Libya and was made emperor by the army. The three emperors before him, Commodus, Pertinax, and Julianus, were all murdered. He ignored the Senate and relied on the army, a habit followed by most later emperors. So he's getting rid of the Senate, that age-old pinnacle of Rome, and instead this is really a military state. He died at York while on a military expedition to Britain. And the last one is going to be another guy you remember very well. All these guys. Woo, years and years are going by. You don't have to know any of them. And Diocletian. There was one more before. Sorry, the guy that you were going to remember. He is the commander of the Eastern Empire. Remember when the Roman Empire is divided up?
Yes.
East and West. Numerian's imperial guard came to power after assassinating him. This is when it was divided up. That's what you need to remember. This is your big guy, Constantine. You know him.
Whoa.
His troops declared him emperor in Britain in 306 AD. In the long civil war that followed, he defeated all his major rivals. He believed that his success was due to the God of the Christians, and in gratitude, he made Christianity the official religion in the Roman Empire and moved the capital of the empire to the Greek city of Byzantium, which he renamed Istanbul. Constantinople. When he died, he divided the empire between his 3 sons. And then you have all these guys, which you don't need.
A lot of names.
And all these guys. And then the Roman Empire. The sun.
Phil.
Yeah. The sun sets on the Roman Empire and da 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 da. All right, so I'm going to create a Flexi quiz for you. I'll pop that link up on your announcement for you. You're going to just want to take that by 4 p.m. Again, it's only going to be however many of these with paragraphs there were. I think there are 7. So 7 matching questions. It'll be the same matching questions that I'm going to put into your test. You'll have seen them in advance. Should be easy to tell Augustus from Constantine. There's just probably a few in the middle you want to study. It is somewhat open note, but the quiz will be timed. So if you don't have a vague idea and I pick something obscure, you will want to probably read it a few times beforehand.
Got it.
What is my next thing? Oh, practice translations. That's our last thing.
Friday, right?
All right, you ready?
Friday.
Yes.
Quiz is on Friday, right?
Yeah, I'll probably open it Thursday. I don't know. I'll open it as soon as I make it. I might make it today. So you can take it whenever you want. As soon as it's open.
I might do that.
Yes, darlings? Who's Miss Leonard?
When is the test?
It's going to be on Monday.
Philip's coming.
Sweet. Thank you.
It's going to be on Monday during class. After that, we'll take them alone. Like, I'll just let you take them. But I figure since it's our first one and I don't know what problems might arise, we better take it together.
Miss Lonnie, Philip's coming right now.
What the?
That's the most unbelievable thing I've truly
8 minutes left in class.
That is truly like a bolt. That is
That's classic Phil.
Audax Audakis. Okay.
Phil.
All right. So at first light, the kingdom is damned. So that's an ablative absolute there, right? At first light.
Yeah.
No, it's not. You're supposed to say. At first light is ablative time when. Ablative time when. So we are going to use ablative. It's just not an ablative absolute. So how do you, it's going to look just like an ablative absolute because it's going to be 2 words in the ablative. But how do I form that? What's first? The word first is what?
Primus.
Primus. And how do I put it into, yes, I got to put it.
Would it be primo?
Well,
Find what it looks
the
like.
ending is going to depend on the word Luke's Lukies, right? What gender is Luke's Lukies?
Neuter.
It's feminine. So therefore my ending on preem is going to be what?
Prima.
Good.
Prima.
All right. Now what's my ending on Luke's going to be? It's also got to be ablative. So Luke's Luke.
Huh?
Well,
It's a third declension noun.
Luke.
That's exactly right. All right. Prima Luke. The kingdom. What case is the kingdom going to be in?
nominative.
Nominative. So what is the word for kingdom?
Regnus, isn't it?
Close, but it's isn't it neuter?
So it's regnum. Like that.
Anybody gonna back me up or correct me?
I can look it up.
I looked it up. It is neuter. I am correct. Regnum. And then we want damned. What's the word for to damn?
Damno.
Damno damnare. All right, now is damned. What is the voice of this verb?
Passive.
Passive. And what is the tense of this verb?
Present.
Present. So we want dom natur, right? All right. The second one, when the Romans were buying the damned, does that have an ablative absolute?
No.
Wait, yeah, it does.
Yes, it does.
I fart.
Or not buying the damned. I was like, where did I come up with that sentence? We're burying the damned. That makes more sense. Okay, so why don't you try that ablative absolute for me? Solo for a second. So give 1 minute. Do you need the word for to bury?
Please.
Okay, I'm gonna type it down here.
Okay.
What's the word for damned? Because I know, like, I know when it's a verb. How is it when it's a noun?
So can you guess?
Word
And I will tell you that you're right, because you will be.
It's still damnare, isn't it?
Well, that's too damn, but
Yeah.
just turn it into a noun in your head.
Damnus.
The damnatus, damnatus, damnati, the damned.
Okay.
Word. Remember.
Okay, so when indicates that we're going to use what kind of participle?
The middle one.
Active.
So present active.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I love you, thank you. Okay,
Yeah.
so the noun is going to be the Romans. So it's going to be Roman. It's plural, and we need it to be in what case?
Ablative.
Good. So this is going to be what?
Romanis.
Good. All right, and then we need a present active participle. So sepeliens, sepelientis is the present active participle. How do I put that into the ablative?
So that one, the second one.
Yep, and I just need a long I, right?
Okay.
Because that was technically the genitive.
Alien. Oh, I said S. That's wrong.
Romani sepelientis, the enemy came or arrived. So what's enemy?
Hosties.
Hosties, good.
These.
Or inimicus, right? That's just what I.
Or inimicus, good. And arrived is
Well, I can't remember what that is.
Well, what about damnatu?
oh, thank you. All right. So that's going to be in what case?
Accusative.
Damnatus.
It's going to be accusative. So damnatos, right?
Wait, but it's still. What? Oh.
It should go back here though.
Who's doing that?
All right, last one. You can go if you want. I know class is over. If you want to stay, you may. All right, Romanos a quartet, and this one using the impersonal verb. So what is it? It is
Right, is it's not. It is right. It is plea. No.
that is right. It is right or proper for whom?
Romans. The Romans.
To
Bury the enemies.
all right.
Romans.
All right, so just a reminder, I'll pop that quiz up. It'll just be a link. It'll take you to a place. Take the quiz by 4 p.m. Friday, and then meet back here Monday for the test.
Could you go back to that screen for like a second?
See you, Miss
Yeah.
Lonergan.
Lonergan.
Do you mind?
Okay.
Say it back, Miss Lonergan.
Mr. Lonergan?
Yeah, thank you.
Do you have the same office hours as everybody else Friday? Okay.
Oh no, Friday. They're split up. I think mine are 10 to 11.
So, Miss Lonergan, on Friday,
Thank
do we
you.
have classes?
I'm good.
What did you say, Leon?
On Friday, do we have classes or it's just for help?
Friday, it's just for help.
Okay.
Miss Lonergan, I'm not gonna lie, I just woke up. I'm so sorry.
Unbelievable, Philip. I was talking about you, not nice things the whole time.
I'm not gonna lie, I had a rough night. Like, I went to sleep at 10, woke up at 1, and I was up to like 6.
Philip, I get it. These days at home are making it very hard to sleep, right?
Yeah, but
All right, Miss
I'm gonna post this video, Philip, on the internet, so don't you worry about a thing.
all right.
It happens to the best of us.
All right, thanks, Miss Lonergan.
I'll see you soon.
All right, bye.
Oh, goodness gracious. Thank you, Miss Lonergan.
Thank you, Charlie. See you soon.
Of course. Bye-bye.